everyone, my name is Jamie and I want to welcome you back to my channel where we review, demo, and discuss makeup and give commentary on the beauty community as a whole. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you how I created this look. I'm talking foundation all the way down to lip color for about $30. Whether you're looking for inexpensive makeup because you don't have a lot of disposable income, or maybe you're a newbie, or maybe you're just somebody who's searching for great bargains, this is going to be the video for you. The makeup I'm going to be sharing with you today has been vetted by influencers, professional makeup artists, and beauty editors, which is great because where do we typically go to find cheap makeup, right? The drugstore. The problem is with the cheap prices often comes cheap quality, right? So it's important that we cut through all of the BS and find those hidden gems. If that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned. All right, so I went ahead and primed my eyes using the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer. This retails for $5 and it's meant to be a dupe for the MAC paint pots. I used the shade white, but it also comes in black and two colors that mimic soft ochre and painterly from the MAC paint pots. And those are more like light flesh tones that either have a rosy undertone or a more yellow undertone. I find that this really does perform well. It's not quite as dry as the MAC paint pot, but I'm okay with that. I applied it using a concealer brush that I have. This is the Morphe M173 brush, and just kind of lightly put it on. It buffed in very easily to the skin, but as always, you can always use your finger too. Now, you may be wondering why I chose an eye primer as a priority when creating a very inexpensive eye look, right? When that could be used towards other makeup cosmetics. I would argue to say that an eye primer is going to elevate whatever eyeshadow you put on it, whether that be something that's expensive, super expensive like Pat McGrath, or something really, really cheap like Wet n Wild. So if you want to make your colors pop, if you want your colors to have longevity, an eye primer is a must. Okay, so the eyeshadow that I'm going to be using today is the e.l.f. Bite Size Eyeshadow Palette, and this is going to be in the shade Truffles. I'll show you guys a close-up of what the color story looks like. Okay, it's like a neutral with a, one shimmer, one black. The black does have a little sparkle to it. Full disclosure, I tried to film this video yesterday using this palette, and it was a massive fail. It wasn't due to the quality of the eyeshadow palette, but the colors are very, very pigmented. So it's easy for your eye look to become muddy very quickly. Especially with this black, it is a deep midnight black, super, super pigmented. So I went in a little bit too much with it, and next thing you know, I ended up with raccoon eyes. So with the black, a little touch will do. And the other suggestion I would have is maybe not use all three colors at the same time. Pick three, all four colors I meant. Pick three of the colors that you like and then build your look around that. All right, so let's get started. I'm first going to be going in with this light brown shade right here. I'm going to go into the creases with it using a large, using a large fluffy brush. I love the combination of this eyeshadow with the primer. It just blends so easily. And these eyeshadow palettes come in a variety of different color stories. I originally heard about these from some of my favorite influencers who raved about it. And actually, did I go in with the dark brown? Are you kidding me? Do you see what I just did? I'm not paying attention. I'm busy running my mouth and ended up using a shade that I was not interested in. So Well, you know, like Bob Ross says, there's no mistakes, only happy accidents. So I might as well do the same thing on the other side. Oh, and you know what? And I forgot to mention, this eyeshadow palette is only $3 at the drugstore. $3. Like, what else can you get for $3? Right, so since I accidentally went in with this brown, I'm just gonna kind of buff this in a little bit. And then I'm gonna use that light camel shade when I get close to my brow bone. Unless you go for something you really, really don't like, I find that, you know, like me yesterday, I find that really it's kind of hard to totally botch a makeup look if you're patient enough. I think so many women are just afraid of messing up that they stay away from makeup in general, even though they're somewhat interested in it. And the best thing to do is just dive into it and practice, practice, practice. I'm gonna go back into the crease with a smaller brush. And by the way, these little candy cane brushes are from Glamlite Cosmetics. I did not have to put in a lot of work to get the shades to blend. I'm a big fan of shadows that do the work for you. Like that. All right. So the next shade I'm going to be using is this silver with like a brown shift to it, like a duochrome. And I'm going to be using a flat brush with that. To get the color to pop, I'm just going to be layering that shimmer shade on. To give a little bit more dimension to the eyes, I'm going to deepen up the very outer corners. I'm going to be brave and try the black again. But like I said, it is super pigmented. So like you only need the tiniest bit, okay? And that's the black. It has sparkles on it, but I find that it does not really show up on the eye. And I'm gonna use a small brush. Okay, I'm gonna be using the Morphe M213 brush. And it's just a teeny tiny little flat brush. Now, if you're more of a beginner and like intimidated by black, the other color stories that they have will be much easier to work with. Now I'm going to take this small fluffy brush, now that I have that laid down, and I'm just going to blend it over towards my inner corner. Very, very slowly. And I'm laying some brown on top of the black to make that more of like an espresso color. To add a little bit of extra shine to the lid, I'm gonna go in with my finger. Do you see the difference when I go in with the finger? It just allows this eyeshadow to foil a bit. And now that we have that done, let's move on to foundation. Oh, and you know what? Before I move on, to mimic eyeliner, you can take the darkest shade of whatever palette you're using and run that along your lash line. Okay, I have the Morphe E29 brush. You can wet it either with water or a setting spray. I'm just gonna go in dry. Now, if you do wanna go in with an eyeliner and you want something that's really inexpensive, LA Girl makes really, really good quality gel eyeliners. And I wanna say they retail for like $4 at Target. Okay, so now for foundation. I chose the Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation in the shade 322 Warm Honey. It retails for $7.99 at Target. It doesn't have a pump, so you do have to be very, very careful with it. I'm gonna be using a foundation brush with it. This is the M429 brush. I wanna say that this is like a medium coverage foundation. If you want a lighter coverage, go in with a beauty sponge. If you want it a little bit more full coverage, go in with the brush. It's important to note that I did not use a face primer before putting this on. If you do not have money for a face primer, the best thing to do is prep your skin ahead of time. Use a really good, good quality moisturizer. It doesn't have to be anything really expensive, but you want to use a moisturizer, and then you can put your foundation right on top of it. It's also not mandatory to set your foundation, especially if you have dry skin. You want to avoid making your skin more dry. In addition to coming in a matte formula, this foundation also comes in like a dewy formula. Next, I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. Camo Hydrating Concealer. As you can see, it's about halfway gone. I have been using this for the past several months and I absolutely love it. This concealer retails for $6 and it comes in a matte formula as well. So feeling the foundation on my face, it's very lightweight. It does not feel very heavy. I think I went in a little bit too heavy-handed, however. What I would recommend is instead of going in with like 1 or 2 thick layers, build up very, very slowly with several thin layers. But I'm really, really impressed with how weightless this feels on my skin. Now that I have my foundation on, let's finish the rest of the eye look. I'm going to be using the flat brush that I used earlier, and I'm going to use the edge of that to just go along my lash line with the dark brown color. And as I get closer to the inner corner, I'm going to use the camel shade, the light brown. And I think I'm going to punch up the eyeliner look that I did on the top. I'm going to go in with the brown. Make that a little bit more intense. In my very inner corner, I'm going to go in with the shimmer shade. The next product I want to share with you is the Lash Princess False Lash Effect Mascara by Essence. This retails for $5. People rave about this mascara. When you're doing your mascara, start at the base of the lash, wiggle, and pull up and twist. Wow. For $5, this is a beautiful performing mascara. For my cheeks, blush and highlighter, I'm going to be going in with the e.l.f. Face Duo in the shade Watermelon. And this is also $3. It's nice. It's like pigmented but not overwhelming, and it goes on smoothly. The only downside is that because it's a little bit smaller, like I like to really be able to dig in like my brush, so I just have to kind of move my brush around. But I mean, that's me being nitpicky, especially given the price point. Very good. For my blush, this was a gift with purchase from Ulta. It just happens to be one of my favorite blush brushes. But for my highlighter, I'm going in with the Morphe M427 brush. The highlighter is nice. It takes a little bit more work to blend it out, but like nothing crazy. And here's the side with the highlight, and this is without. Just so you can see the comparison. Look at that. That's beautiful. So the very last product I'm going to be sharing with you guys today is the NYX Butter Gloss. I have tried this, I think for the first time a year ago, and I have like a little collection of these. These are so good. They're not sticky. They go on super smooth onto the lips. They are one of my favorite lip gloss formulas. These lip glosses retail for $5. I'm using the shade Summer Fruit today. And for the very last step is brows. I did not select a brow product, but what you can do is just take a brush that has a spoolie at the end of it and just brush your brows up into place. And here's the final look. Okay, so let's do a quick rundown of all the products that were used and then add up our total. First was the e.l.f. Putty Eye Primer for $5. Then we used the e.l.f. Cosmetics Bite Size Eyeshadow Palette, which retails for $3. The Maybelline Fit Me Foundation was $7.99. And by the way, these are Ulta prices, just so you're aware. The e.l.f. Camo Concealer was $6. The Essence Lash Princess Mascara was $4.99. The Bite Size Face Duo was $3. And the Butter Gloss was $5. Now, you're probably saying, Jamie, that's like over $35 or close to $35. Let's see what the total is. $34.98. However, Ulta always has $3.50 off coupons that can be used. So once you take off that discount, the total comes to $31.48. So for a complete full face of makeup, you're spending about $30 plus tax. If you have tried some of these products, I would love for you to share with me in the comments section what you thought of them. And also, do you have any ride or die products that are inexpensive from the drugstore? If so, I want you to also comment below. Thank you guys so much for coming back to my channel. I really enjoyed having you. If you liked what you saw, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification so you're aware of every single time I upload. And one thing I want to let you guys know is my goal is to have 100 subscribers. That's my goal to end 2021 with. But I can't do that without you. The likes and the subscriptions really, really help me and help the channel out. It's free, it's easy to do, just one click of the button. I truly, truly appreciate it. With that being said, I look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Take care. Bye.